Hey everybody, this is Ice and C. Remember how it said, or I'll hate you for it, bringing you another 1 versus 1. I'm kidding, it's a fan game. It's fan game number 3, and I'm going to be playing Tyranids in this one. And again, we are going to be playing this match against GraviLEE again. And he's asking me why I'm playing Tyranids. So, and he's going to be playing Imperial Guard again, and this time he chose to play on Green-Tooth Gorge, and basically it's going to be another victory point control. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start into this game. And he's telling me that it is the perfect time for me to play more of my Tyranids. And I definitely agree. I agree entirely with that. And yeah, he wants to play on Green-Tooth Gorge. That was I think the first map that me and him had played on the first fan game match. And we're going to get out the beginning lag. Okay. And we're going to be going out for Termagants first. I feel like I should go for a second Hormagant squad, and my thinking behind this is if I can wrong foot him with all of the committed melee that I'm bringing out, then I can just tar pit him like no tomorrow and keep it, because Imperial Guard are actually fairly good at ranged fighting, you know, with that good range and the accuracy of their units. Definitely something not to joke about. So, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and cloak. And as you can see, he is trying to just be a turd. And he tried stomping, missed. Which, you know, it's okay. One of the harder things that you have to remember about the Tyranids is that they are definitely a lot harder to play as kind of right off the bat, because they are they're very squad heavy, so you gotta kind of micro around a lot. But yeah, you can see over here he sent his Inquisitor. We're gonna get that first flesh hook off and just kind of start attacking him. And as you can see so far, that double Hormagant thing not really paying off for me. So we're going to go ahead and retreat those guys back on home. And I'm bringing my Termagants out so they can get increased firepower against this Inquisitor, help my Lictor win this battle. And there you go, he retreats on home. And we're going to be going for the Warrior Broods here in a minute. And if you're curious as to why, the only thing I can tell you is that Barbed Stranglers absolutely just make a joke out of Guardsmen. They really don't know how to deal with that that suppression very well, and that's not really so much their fault. Is the Guardsmen units kind of just not... Oh, geez, and you can just see, yeah, this is why we went for those, that second Hormagant, just absolutely tar-pitting the crap out of him. And even with that Sentinel there, just, oh god, doing so much damage. That is almost vomit-inducing. That is, you know, that is a definite strength that you have whenever you are playing with Tyranids. And we're going to go ahead and Flesh Hook and get out of there because Catachans will just ruin your day. Absolutely. So you can see, I mean, we built up a lot of power. And at this point, I'm debating whether I actually should go ahead with my original plan because of those Catachans. The Barb Strangler obviously not having the same issues with Catachans as most suppression units do, but still kind of at the same time they're also not nearly as good. If they get knocked back first and everything and the Catachans get stuck in with them, can be very bad news for me. Never quite get that right. Ouch. And that good old grenade barrage on my guy is just kind of sticking it to me. And yeah, so right now, because we've lost a lot of map control, and really the only damage that we've done so far is we took out a single guardsman squad and wounded one pretty badly. We're going to be sneaking around here with our Lictor and just seeing what we can kind of do with it from there, you know. It also gives us some good map vision, some idea what's going on. And you can see how he's put that down there, and he's got he obviously has plans for that later on in the game, which is good. As guardsmen, you got to remember that your main resource is power. It's always going to be power, and you need that power for like everything. I mean, there is never a time where you don't need it. But yeah, just over here kind of harassing, and we got ourselves out a good old Zoanthrope. Definitely the proper response, in my opinion, to those Catachans, giving them outranged ability, and as well giving them nice, wonderful splash damage. And yeah, you can see it just went ahead and retreated those guys all the way back home. Gonna sit him behind cover, use these guys kind of as a sight or a forward vision. Oh boy. And these are a good type of unit to get out in more than one number, because you know, if you miss one shot, then hey, you've got another backed up right there. Also, that focused warp blast just being so annoying against vehicles. And he moved just out of my range, and we're going to surprise him. Surprise! And just see, oh my god, so much damage. That is not, he's not going to be happy with that at all. And you can see why the Zoanthrope was just such a good idea for me to pick. And right now we're going to go for the Corrosive Claws, the Adrenal Glands, and the Pheromone. The Pheromone giving me the ability to reinforce out there on the field, always something you want to have. Also, a good idea would be to keep the warp field on. You don't have to, because you can save yourself time and energy on your what's it called? Oh, so you can do the focused warp blast, but you know, if you're not careful and you end up losing your Zoanthropes, well, then that wasn't really worth it now, was it? And you can see right now we're just upgrading all of our guys We need to purchase a warrior brood, because if we get surprised by any cloaked units, that will just be the end of these zoanthropes, and not something that we really want in this case. Also, seeing those ogrins, you know, definitely something we don't want to get stuck up against, you know. And yeah, you can see those Catachans just trying, but we're going to bait them. And yeah, you see, that's why you want to get more than one. And yes, I mean, and you could just watch as this lictor just absolutely wails on that squad of units. And we're gonna get some rippers. Rippers are pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say that they were awesome, but they are definitely a good unit to have. Going to get out the warrior broods. Rippers being you cannot suppress them at all. And yeah, you can see he's popping off that awesome ability that the Inquisitor has, and that is a much better situation to use them in as opposed to before, where he was using it against me when I was playing as a Space Marines, but those Space Marines just being absolutely just too tough, and it not really being worth it in the end for him. And yeah, now you can start seeing why I say that the Tyranids a much harder to micro, because of all of these units that you just have to move around and everything, and then you're just like, oh well, I have to, you know, give them the power-ups now and everything. And they're I mean, once you get it, it's not hard, but it is hard to catch onto at first. And yeah, that just doing every little thing he can, being just so smart. And we're popping the pheromone cloud. If we lose a unit right there, we will be okay. And somehow not losing a single model until they are pretty much just out of health. And that was just absolutely bad. Just bad. So, but, warrior broods, not that expensive. I wouldn't say they were cheap at all, but not too expensive. And yeah, right now I'm kind of like sitting here going, oh dear God, he's got all of the victory points, and he tried to use a grenade barrage. Not gonna work. I've got my warp field up, so I am just not going to take any damage from you. And that upgrade for the Hormigons, giving them the assault leap, really gonna hurt these guardsmen. And yeah, so he took out my lictor. I'm not really sure how or why, but not something we really need to worry about too much. And we're gonna come over here and gen bash him, because why not? Or not, you know, sometimes that can be pretty hard. And yeah, you see smartly moving back our zoanthropes so that they did not get stuck out, you know, somewhere and just get picked off before we can really do anything about it. And he is engaging us over here, and we're going to engage him on his grounds. because I don't want to engage him on my grounds. And you can see those hotshot las guns coming out. Not working out too well for him. We're going to attempt to pick on and yeah, you can see right there he's got that going on. We're going to drop. Basically right now we're just using our Tyrant Guard like you should. Being, you know, a meat shield so we can do all of the damage. And yeah, not able to do what he wanted. But you can see that right now he's got victory points working on me. And we're going to retreat out of here before we take any extra damage. Dropping some rippers. Something you want to try and do as much as you can. They're cheap. Good for tying up in melee. Or tying up units in melee. Also, they do slow vehicles. That is another noteworthy thing about them. And yeah, oh, you can see those guardsmen just not having a good day, getting eaten up by Tyranids. Yeah, and so those rippers ended up eventually dying. I said capture. But Tyrant Guard eventually died, and that's to be expected. I mean, it's a Tyrant Guard. I don't know what you want from it. Ouch! Melt-A-Gun's just really hurting that Lictor. Barely gonna get out of there. But we are going to indeed get out of there. Dude, okay, never mind. We did not get out of there at all. That hurt so bad. Pain, pain, pain. All over the place. You can capture with Zoanthropes, strangely enough. Like, I didn't really think that that would have been possible, because they don't have any arms or legs. And yeah, you can see he's bringing out that Bane Wolf. And we're just using our focused Warp Blasts. Putting as much hurt onto it as we possibly can. Teching up to tier 3, trying to hang on. As Tyranids, your real strength, you're going to be the strongest as you can possibly be in tier 3. Hands down. And yeah, you can see I'm in a little bit of trouble. Ended up losing my one of my Zoanthropes, but we can now purchase things like Carnifex, and probably not, because we do not have enough power. Oh, this is gonna be such a pain. Yeah, I definitely need to brush up on my Tyranid play. I haven't played them in so long. Kind of like this game. I haven't really played this game in very long either. Right. Being sick in school and work and oh my. So, but yeah, one of my issues is we had the Lictor Alpha. Definitely could have utilized him a lot better, considering that we spent so much on him. And you can see, he sees that Zoanthrope and he's like, I don't like you, Zoanthrope. And I'm like, well, that's just too bad. Because Zoanthrope likes you a lot. He likes you so much, he just can't take his thoughts away from you. Did you see what I did there? And yeah, getting that ever so irritating ability that the Inquisitor has. And can't do anything about it except maybe shoot at her from afar. I'd like to come over here and try And yeah, you can see, oh boy, that didn't feel good. Nope, didn't get any damage off. And you can see, not paying attention to our units again, we got, you know, basically stuck in melee and pretty much hammered into the ground. And yeah, so I mean, not much else I can do here. I can try and delay the end of this game by capturing points desperately. And there is the ever awesome Alpha Legion announcement shining up in the top left corner, top right, because I am directionally retarded. And we can't even get by it. It's so fat and annoying. But yeah, no way we can desperation cap right now. Just not working out for us. The Carnifex coming out, but what can he possibly do at this point other than get a few good swings off and GG, well played. And yeah. So, good game, GraviLEE. Did everything there possibly right that he could have, and when he really should have done it. Things I could have done better. I guess I really probably should have been a lot more on top of my micro. My micro for Tyranids being so bad because of my being used to Space Marine units and how few of them there actually are, and also kind of not really being used to playing them in a while. Sorry. Yeah, and also spending a lot of resources kind of in the wrong place. I did get kind of frustrated about that one part where the Warrior Brood, literally, like, every unit was still alive at that spot, not reinforcing when I had popped the pheromone cloud, and then by the time that I was like, oh wait a minute, they're not reinforcing and they're all so low on health and everything, and then it's just like they all died simultaneously. That was pretty frustrating. I feel like that should be fixed. I mean, yes, there should be like a level of balance to it where like each model, you know, when it takes damage, it, you know, after X amount of damage, it should eventually go down. But if you spread it across all of the units evenly, you know, it makes sense, but as you can see right there, really not working for me in that favor. Definitely making the pheromone cloud making the pheromone cloud actually that I popped down there absolutely useless. Just a bad it was just bad. Like that was vomit inducing. I don't want to go back and look at that ever again. But yeah, very fun game, a lot to learn from that. Yeah, definitely a lot to learn from that. If you are a Tyranid player, take a good look at that, you know. If you're having trouble understanding what purposes each and every unit follows, I would suggest sitting in a customs match and in the middle of the game, like, you know, if you're like, hey, I wonder what this does, reading the upgrades first on the units, and then after that, putting it into practice. If you're really looking for a more advanced level of play, I would definitely suggest more along the lines of going into ranked matches and playing around in there until you eventually get better. Yeah, your record will hurt at first, and that's fine. it's to be expected, and to be honest, a lot of people in the custom games are dicks because they'll see your ranking and rating and they'll be like, oh, I don't want to play with a noob, and they'll kick you from the game, which is unfair, to be honest. But they do, there are a bunch of people who are like noob only or something, and they don't judge it by, you know, your actual gameplay skill. They look at your record and then they're like, oh, they make a judgment from there. Which is why I can never get into a noob-only game anymore, because my record is 3K plus, and they will just be like, sir, you have got to be kidding me. I think they also judge it off of levels, too. It is a nice indicator that someone is seasoned for this for this game, but it is not a perfect indicator, because I did play a guy. I have a replay for it, but it doesn't show his ranking at the end, unfortunately, because I was just doing a 1 versus 1, and I was just like, you know, I want to do some 1v1s and everything. I ended up winning them all, but I didn't record any of them because at the time I wasn't really feeling like recording. And the guy at the end, his name was like Red Star. He had like 5K rating. And in a 1 versus 1 ranked, that is absolutely absurd. But throughout the entire game, I just absolutely crushed him. So maybe it wasn't the fact that maybe he was just playing like an off race or something like that, or you know, maybe his ranking had really gotten juiced up or something by some, I don't know, other players, lower tier players or something. Not sure what was going on there, but I had a lot of fun with it, and learned that, you know, ranking isn't necessarily always the accurate depiction of how good a player is. But anyway, yeah, if you like this video, leave a like. If you'd like to talk to me, please go ahead and comment. And yeah, remember, always be good-mannered. And if you love the videos and you like, you know, seeing them, subscribe. There will be plenty more videos to come, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I cherish every last one of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is Ice and C. Remember, it's how it's said, or I'll hate you for it, and I'll catch you partners later.